Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome to my channel. It is breaking news on a Wednesday morning, and we're going to just jump right into this. Jake Paul, the Mr. Team 10 household guy, brother to Logan Paul, one of YouTube's most problematic creators, is currently in really big hot water. What's going on? Well, TMZ literally just broke the story that his house is in the process of being raided. Yes, that's correct. Not a prank. This is for real. So TMZ actually was outside of his Calabasas home earlier today, and they noted that there were a ton of cars lined up, and there was like officers at the gates of his home, and it was a search. So apparently TMZ makes contact, and they are told that they are having a search by the feds who have a warrant in order to look into his home. They said that they did not have any specifics about what they were looking for. And then shortly after TMZ broke the story, CBS in Los Angeles actually confirmed everything. So they say that it was a raid conducted by the FBI, and it was performed on the 23500 block on Park South Street. They also said on CBS Los Angeles that they had reached out to the FBI, and they would not confirm what actually prompted the raid, but they did say that it was in connection with an ongoing investigation, but that today there would be no arrests planned. And apparently they also were told that the warrant was sealed by a judge. So everything on this is really tight-lipped. They don't know like what they're looking for, what the scope of the warrant is for, but they were able to confirm that there were 100% real agents at the property. This was not a prank. They took photos outside of the home. There are lines of dozens and dozens and dozens of people. This was unmarked cars, people going in and out of the property, and it's like, can you really be surprised? Wow, right? So he has pulled a lot of pranks, like a ton. So a couple months ago in June, he was actually in Arizona, and he was with his crew, and they were filming outside of an Arizona mall. And while he was in the mall, there was a bunch of stuff going on where people were breaking windows, and they were trying to get into the mall after hours. This was shortly after everything that happened in Minneapolis with George Floyd, and the nation was sort of in a massive uprising. He, at the time, was there filming everything, but he also took part in it by going into the mall and documenting everything that was happening. He went onto social media after his videographer released all of this footage, basically showing him participating in this behavior, and he denied that he was a part of it and did anything wrong. Yet he was trespassing on a property that he should not have been in while people were literally damaging the property. He was later then charged with trespassing, and he is facing those charges in Arizona. He responded by doing a video a few weeks later where he had police show up at his house, and they were going to extradite him to Arizona, which turned out to be a massive prank. And then only last week and a couple weeks ago, he was literally being called out by the mayor of Calabasas for having house parties at his Team 10 mansion. So he has been throwing a ton of parties in the middle of a global pandemic. He has told people in multiple outlets he literally does not care. He's going to keep living his life. He has had tons of people at his home, and it was because of his choices and his action that the mayor of Calabasas has actually banned these types of gatherings in her area. And they've said that if people are not found at these gatherings, they will be fined. If they're not wearing masks, they will be fined. And it's created this humongous uproar in his community. Now, if that's not just the biggest issue, I don't know what are they searching for? Like, what could he possibly be involved in? It's completely different to pull a prank on YouTube than it is to have feds at your property, right? That would instigate and imply that there's something far greater than pulling a prank or having a party at your house or going to a property and filming, right? He must have something going on in this house that would cause them to go in to his house to search. And the amount of cars that are outside of his home, I mean, TMZ has all of the photos. You can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cars just in this photo. Tons of people just outside of these cars. There's an officer literally at the gate of his house standing and guarding. And it's a real officer. It's not a fake out. He is the king of pranks, but this is not a prank. How do you even prank this? So, a lot of people on YouTube have long thought that he has been involved in something, doing something that isn't legal, but there's never been any way to sort of pinpoint what it is that they're involved in. There's been tons of allegations about all kinds of different behavior that has gone on at his mansion. There have been women that have made accusations about different people doing things to them at parties that are completely not okay. People have had accusations against people that he's associated to, you know, just things done without consent, let's just say. Jake has never been implicated in those types of things, but that type of behavior has been implicated at his home. There's also been, these allegations of these house parties. Are they looking for film? Are they looking for other content related to looting? I don't know if it could be even related to that. If the federal government is involved, typically it's going to be something far greater than that. And it would have to be something that's crossing state lines. And it would also have to be something that's going on globally. So is it something that he's doing on his internet? Is it something that he's doing? Is he trafficking something? Is he what? What do you think he could possibly be involved in? Without any sort of knowledge, I can't really say. TMZ promises that they will update later. But at this point, what we do know is he's been throwing parties without any sort of indication about anybody's well-being. He was caught in Arizona looting, and he was charged. And he's known to pull pranks. The story has quickly started to take over over Twitter, and people on Twitter are sharing this. We have got large creators like Taylor Lorenz, who has shared the TMZ article, basically saying this is going on. You have other large journalists like Yashar Ali, who has put out a ton of content for very big, large publications as a writer. This is going everywhere. Dextero is covering it. You've got people like Newsweek covering the story. So there's been a lot of people angry at him about his parties. There's been, outrage about all of what he's doing. Jake has not made any sort of comments publicly. He has not put out anything on a Twitter since July 31st. He has no one responding to him on his TMZ reached out to Jake and his camp for a comment. They did not respond. So there's nobody that's really saying what is going on here. And unfortunately, the feds will keep this kind of close to the vest until there's an arrest. But anytime you have a raid at the property that involves the federal government, it means that an investigation has likely been going on for quite some time. And that a raid typically means that it's the next step towards gathering evidence, and then that evidence can typically be used for an arrest. Whether it pertains to him or someone else that lives in the home, that I don't know. But TMZ confirms that law enforcement says that there is a warrant. The search was done this morning. It is still ongoing, and we will let you know, and we will keep you updated and abreast of all of this as more happens in the story. You can check out the TMZ article in the description box below, and I hope you guys have a great day. You can check the video out in the description box below, and then tell me what your thoughts are. What do you think that Jake could possibly be involved in here? What is it that he's doing? Pranks? Looting? Is there something else more nefarious? I would love to know. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Bye, guys.